Hello everyone, greetings. Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to this video. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. I analyze song lyrics very in depth on my channel through the lens of literary analysis. I tend to concentrate on diction, which is word choice, and connotation, which can be thought of as like the vibes or the emotions that the words elicit. As a quick disclaimer, music is very subjective, so everything presented in this video is my own personal opinion. I always encourage you all to comment down below what your thoughts are. Today I'm doing another in-depth lyric analysis, continuing our journey through Taylor Swift's newest album called Folklore. When I do these songs off of Folklore, I'm going to try my best to view each song as standing on its own as a separate entity. I know there are a lot of theories, but I plan on making at the very least 2 videos addressing the theories. One video about the love triangle theory, which I believe is completely true, and then another video just on Folklore as an entire album, how it exists as a cohesive entity. Today we're doing the song This Is Me Trying. This is not super metaphorical, this is just more of a statement, which I appreciate. It does give us a clue about the content of the song. The protagonist of the song, protagonist just means the main character of a story, is trying to do something. Already from the title, I know that there is a power dynamic because one person is trying to do something for another person. That's how I am interpreting it. Usually when I hear this is me trying, I'm trying my best, it means they're trying to gain someone's trust back or to apologize. Those are the things that I think of immediately, but let's actually look at the contents of the song and see if that matches up. Verse 1. I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout, could have followed my fears all the way down, and maybe I don't know quite what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. From the very first line, we get a glimpse into the internal world of the protagonist of this song. We don't know the exact context yet, but we know that whatever is going on, they're having a difficult time. They feel unbalanced. They feel like they're not in tune with their life at the moment. That's how I'm interpreting that first line. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. There has been a change in the life of this protagonist. The image of having the shiniest wheels, you know, that connotes a feeling of newness, freshness. A person who has the shiniest wheels is a person who feels energized, and it's a very positive image. But now she's rusting, so there's been a change. We're not told what that change is. We're not told what caused that change. When something rusts, it's a natural chemical reaction. However, the image of something rusted looks old, it looks worn down, it's not new. If you look at a new bike versus one that's rusted, this one looks worn out. It looks like it's been through it, right? So there has been a change in the protagonist, and this is being stated very early on in the song. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. This song is obviously directed towards another person. I'm not sure if this is actually being stated out loud, like this is an actual conversation that's happening, or if it's just something that the protagonist is going over in their mind. We are told the protagonist has regrets, and I feel like the protagonist is trying to explain why something happened or why they behaved in a particular way. I'm assuming that because they said, I didn't know if you care if I came back, that suggests that something happened that would cause the other person to just kind of write them off. Pull the car off the road to the lookout. So when you're in a car, you're being transported somewhere or you're driving somewhere, right? You're on the road. You're not in a definite location. You're in transit. The protagonist stopped on the way to something, right? They couldn't move forward. They were stationary. And they not only pulled off of a path, but they stayed stationary and they looked downwards. Imagery-wise, that's very significant. It suggests that there is something unresolved within the protagonist and they're trying to make sense of something. They can't go forward on a path, right? They need to pull over and they're looking down. That's a very somber sort of image. You know what I mean? They're not looking up to the sky, which is a very hopeful image or just a very poignant image. They're looking down. It's not a positive thing at all. I could have followed my fears all the way down. So not only do they have regrets, they have fears. They're on the lookout. The fears are down here. It's just like they're pulling her down. Sometimes when you feel such negative emotions, you feel heavy. The feelings are within the person, but sometimes you just feel like it's so much and it's so palpable that it goes out of you and they're like pulling the protagonist down. That's what it feels like. This is not a positive image at all. We do not want the protagonist to go down the lookout. No, stay up here, please. But that's what it feels like. There's a heaviness here. There's something unresolved. There's regrets. Not chill. And maybe I don't know quite what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I am going to assume that the protagonist was in transit to this other person's house. I feel like maybe they wanted to explain something to them or apologize or just maybe beg for them back or something along those lines. They are very conflicted. They still don't really know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. They made it there. They don't know what they're gonna do, but they're doing it. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. As I say in every single one of my lyric analysis videos, repetition signifies significance. This verse consists of 2 repeated lines. When something is repeated, it draws your attention to it more, and I always believe that if something's repeated, it's a message that the songwriter is telling us. What I gather from this repetition is that this protagonist is very confused, like their internal state is very jumbled. The core feeling is that they want to try to make amends with this person. This is me trying, this is me trying. I don't know what to do, but I know I have to do something, so I'm just here. I'm not prepped for this the way I should be, but I'm present here. I just wanted you to know. It's very important for the protagonist to express something to the other person. They want the other person to know that they care, right? When you care about something, you make an effort, you try. Actions speak louder than words, and there's action here. They told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Fell behind all my classmates, and I ended up here, pouring my heart out to a stranger. But I didn't pour the whiskey. What a good verse. There's a lot of stuff here. Let's get into it. This whole song just kind of feels like an apology, but the type of apology where you don't really know what to say, but you're just like trying to say things. This is you trying, you know? Kind of reminds me of Afterglow off of Taylor's album Lover, because that's like an apology as well. They told me all of my cages were mental. The word they is just referring to the people around her. I think this line is meant to just serve as an explanation for her behavior. She's trying to set some context. Kind of like an excuse a little bit, but not in a bad way. They told me all of my cages were mental. All of her shortcomings are of her own doing. I'm not saying it's her fault, but it's about mindset, right? So the protagonist is trying to explain, you know, I get caught up in my head. Sometimes I just psych myself out. Trying to give some insight. The line right after I really enjoy. Wasted potential is like a saying, right? You have wasted potential. You wasted your potential. But now saying I got wasted as in drunk. So there's a parallel between the protagonist being drunk and wasted and then the potential she had. There's a lot of nothingness, a lot of goals that haven't been met. It's like she's mirroring her internal state outwardly. She's like, I wasted my potential. I should have done this, I should have done that, but I didn't. She's kind of pitying herself. I'm gonna let this pity and this self-doubt or self-hatred pour outwards, and I'm going to go get wasted. The first 2 lines are kind of just setting context about the protagonist's life. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. Probably said some things during a tense moment. Words are like a gun. They can be violent and they can kill someone emotionally. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. This reminds me of school. There is like a curve and then there is an average, and if you're ahead of the curve, you scored very well on that test. That's one way you can look at that image. You can also think of it as just a curve like this. She was so ahead of the curve that the curve became a sphere. A sphere is a 3D circle, and a circle is contained within itself, right? She was so ahead of it, and now she's outside of the circle. I hope that made sense. So like, this is a curve. She's ahead of it right here. And then the curve is a sphere. So it's like a circle here, and she's not anywhere near it. She kind of is out of this space. This is the sphere, and then this is her. She veered too far off course. She had a lot of potential, but it got wasted. If she was a little bit closer to the curve, maybe she would have been within the sphere like this. I hope that makes sense. Fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here. She veered off course. Instead of being ahead, she fell behind. It's very ironic. It sounds like she's in a bar. She is having a heart-to-heart with a stranger. I don't know if the stranger wants to hear this. I feel like maybe there is just a lot of emotion in the protagonist and it's just pouring outward. She's pouring out her emotions, but she didn't pour the whiskey. There's a few different ways we can look at that last line. I didn't pour the whiskey, someone else did, the bartender or the stranger. Another way we can look at this is that instead of pouring the whiskey, she poured out her emotions, so she made a choice. And this can be thought of as a positive thing. She chose to allow her emotions to be expressed instead of getting wasted again. When it says she got wasted earlier in this verse, It can be referring to a previous time period where maybe the protagonist would go out drinking. For me, this is showing progression. So perhaps there was a time when this protagonist would go out drinking a lot. They would get wasted just like their potential was wasted, and perhaps that's what caused the issues in this relationship. Now she's in a bar again, but instead of pouring the whiskey, she is pouring out her emotions, which, you know, maybe isn't cute, but it's a healthier thing, I guess, than getting wasted. Then we have repetition of the chorus. The next verse is just one line. It says, "At least I'm trying." She is explaining what's going on to her partner, and she's still not there 100%, right? She hasn't recovered from this issue. She's not on the other side of it, but she just wants it to be known that she's making an effort. And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback in a film reel on the one screen in my town. The protagonist is so not chill about everything that they can't even enjoy a party. They feel like an open wound. A wound can hurt regardless of if it's bandaged or open, but if it's open, there's a greater chance of pain because it's open to the elements. Even a breeze over an open wound can be painful. She has been hurt, she has been wounded. The protagonist is in a great deal of pain. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. When all I want is you signifies that this is directed towards another person. This is about a relationship. Not only is it difficult to be at a party where it's supposed to be fun, but it's hard to be anywhere. The protagonist's mind is just with this other person. They want them back. They want to explain that they are trying and they're willing to try for them. You're a flashback in a film reel. If you're looking at a flashback, it means that it's in the past. So this relationship ended. She is just going through it in her head. It reminds me of the song Supercut by Lorde. I talked about a lot of film reel imagery. I'll go ahead and link that for you guys if you're interested. But the protagonist is playing everything back like a movie, and it's just on a loop. They are in a great deal of pain. When you are playing a flashback like this, it's not fun. You know what I mean? You're kind of just stuck in a loop. This is not only just a flashback, but it is on the one screen in my town. There is only one movie playing here. This protagonist just wants this one person. There is no other option. There's no other movie theaters, no other movies, nothing. In her town, in her world, there's just one screen playing one movie of the flashback of their relationship. That's all she wants. That's all she cares about. That's all she values. There's a lot of like movie imagery in this album, I've noticed. In the song Exile, there's references to the greatest movies, and then the Sunday Matinee, and then in Hoax, there's a reference to movies as well. Also, the fact that it's a film reel is interesting. It's not like a digital version, it's like a tangible, old school version of the relationship. That to me gives it a little bit more value because it's something tangible. Tangible just means something that you can touch physically. Intangible just means something you cannot touch. So things that are digital, you can't touch, right? They exist in like a cloud or whatever. But a film reel is tangible, so this to me gives more value to the relationship they had. I thought that was interesting. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Maybe I don't quite know what to say. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. The protagonist is being vulnerable. She is expressing that she doesn't know what to say, but she is here, she is present. She is showing her emotional underbelly, letting this person know about her past, about her wasted potential, all of that. She's willing to be vulnerable because she wants this person back. There's only one screen in her emotional town, in her heart, in her soul, and it's playing their flashbacks. At least I'm trying. There is really no resolution here, just sort of an internal emotional tug of war where the protagonist is trying to explain that they don't really know what to say or how to express what they want to express, but they are just here, feet firmly planted, ready to be vulnerable and to just let their partner know that they're in. Yeah. And that's the song. This song is an apology and an explanation. This is just a little snippet of a thought process, in my opinion, about how to communicate with someone important in your life. Although the protagonist doesn't know how to express that they are sorry, they are trying. And actions do speak louder than words, so there is definitely some value in that. Let me know what you guys think of this song in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or afternoon. Bye.